Look, it's new in the original packaging. Antique Classics by Jeanette Glass. That's fantastic. And then look at this little bear. It says it's Goble underneath there. It's a Goble. It's the Goble little bear. It's so cute. Hi there, I am back at the Elizabethtown Goodwill. I went back up for another eye appointment that I had that they weren't able to fit me in the last time. So I stopped by the Goodwill, this time with 2 regular undilated eyes. It was so much easier to shop. I found this metal, I pronounced that so perfectly, metal Scotty Bank. I think at one time it might have had a little key because the bottom of it has a little keyhole to it. I thought it was super, super cute. And here were a whole bunch of Bible-shaped trinket boxes. I decided to go with the Scotty dog, even though you don't see me pick him up right now. This is my favorite area of this Goodwill. They have all the figurines and things like that in this area. And if you didn't catch the last video, I'll put up a link in the corner here to when Jenny and I went to this Goodwill after I had my eyes dilated. And it was pretty much impossible to enjoy it because this Goodwill has huge big windows and it was very bright and my eyes were very, very sensitive. But we are back again and looking for some treasures. This was a very cute planter. They're cute. Those planters are cute, but they're a hard seller unless you get the right kitschy one. The train, I left it there, even though it is super cute. I'm looking to see what these were. These were some napkin ring holders still in the original box. Giant J right there. These shelves are never overcrowded like the big Goodwill, so it's easy to maneuver around and see what's going on. Wasn't quite sure what was going on here. I think this was missing a base. It probably sat in something at one time because right now, I don't think it was a lid. Maybe it was a lid to something, but I think something else went with that for sure. Up top here was a pair of pants and a baseball cap. And then behind here, I was looking to see if these were marbles. They were just glass. Well, they are marbles, but they're not the glowy ones or the vintage ones that you do shoot, the shooter marbles. I think they were more filler. I always like to pick up vintage teapots if they catch my eye. I especially like the Sadler teapots because they have really beautiful patterns to them. And let's see if there's anything here. Oh, there was a little box of fruit ornaments. And then I wasn't quite sure if this was an old aquarium piece. It felt and looked like an aquarium piece. But then when I peeled back the price tag very carefully, it said for lovers only. And then I felt like something was missing off of that as well. Something went with it. It kind of looked like it could go in an aquarium. The hearts there and the flowers. It was kind of giving off, we need more things with us vibes. I don't know why I didn't pick up that fox. Oh, I do pick up the fox. I was going to say, why didn't I pick up that fox? I think that was a hobbyist piece. That's kind of cute. And up top here is all the ladies. All the ladies were present and accounted for. Very, very nice how they had bundled these. These are growing up girls. These are not the Joseph originals. The Joseph originals that you want to look out for, the ones with the black eyes. The ones with the brown eyes are the newer ones. And the growing up girls are newer than the brown-eyed ones, I believe. We sold those growing up girls at the Hallmark store that I used to work at 100 million years ago. Then I spied this because it's orange and I love orange. And then I realized it was macrame. And then I realized it was a plant holder. And then I realized there were birds on it. Look at that. That's so cool, isn't it? I think one of the birds might have a tiny little chip, maybe out of its tail. But for the age of this, fabulous. Yes, right in the cart with the vases from earlier. Now those vases are flashed. They're stained or flashed glass. And usually you find them and they're all scratched up. And I know it's not worth a lot, but to me, that's a really old Goodwill sticker. To me, it was exciting to find them in the original packaging, and they are practically in brand new condition. So the color is still vibrant and pretty and not scratched up. And that's the reason why I picked those up, because I am a sucker for finding things in the original packaging. Here was a Mary statue planter that looked like it had been used before. I used to pick these up all the time. They had a little something going on with the back of her head or hair right there. It would have been really pretty cleaned up, but they are hard sellers for me. They don't fly off my shelves. I usually have them for sale in my eBay store, and so it really has to take a special one for me to say, okay, let's put this in the eBay, because they'll just sit there and sit there and sit there. And there's really nothing wrong with that, but if you want to move product, I tend, and you want to spend wisely, I tend to not pick them up. Look at this little pouty pants. She was so mad. That's so funny, that doll. And then over in the toy section, they had this 201 electronic project kit. It was $13. It kind of looked like most of the pieces were there, but I don't really know anything about vintage toys, and so I left it there. I only really know about toys that I used to play with. This caught my attention mostly because it was in the not toy section. This was now the flowered section, and it turns out it is from Lion King. And it was like a little beanbaggy critter person. Maybe it kind of reminded me of an alebrije. I think it was a water buffalo, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Then we had two giant bags of made in, I think they were, if I remember correctly, Hong Kong or Taiwan. So they definitely had some age, these plastic fruit. It would have been fun just to take the bananas and give the bananas to Jocelyn. I thought about for a little bit, even actually put these in my cart for a little bit, but then I did put them back because I thought, what am I going to do with all this plastic fruit? If they were glass and bundled like that, I probably would have definitely bought them because people like glass fruits and vegetables. There's a chill bill. You put your baking soda in there, and they can keep it fresh in your refrigerator. I thought this was neat. This was in edible arrangements, if I am not telling lies. I thought that was really pretty. And this orange piece was nice because I like orange. And then these are neat too. I've picked these up in the past too. A ceramic, like I always think of strawberries or berry. And then I'm telling you that my bracelets today were brought to you by Kate. Gave me the heart-shaped one. I made the one in the middle, and then the one at the very end, of course, was made by Mike. They were actively restocking the carts, and we are allowed to take things off the carts. But of course, I was looking at the item that was behind the cart, these two cardinals. There were too many chips on this figurine for me, so I decided to put it back. Definitely great for someone who collects cardinals, but for reselling, I try to keep the chips to a minimum. And then seeing this art pottery piece, the cup, I've picked up some nice art pottery here. And then this is a birdhouse made out of a gourd that someone painted very, very nicely. Very, very spring-like. And then over in the arts and crafts section, they had boxes of old cards, and I like to look through the cards to make sure there aren't any, things from the 50s and 60s. This cute little baby looked promising with these cards. I wanted to see if there was just that baby, but it turns out there were some other ones, some kitschy ones, and I thought, well, maybe. Babies are kind of a hard sell if you have Valentine, Halloween, of course, that's crazy, and Christmas. Birthdays are okay, but your new baby is kind of a not so popular. Look, then there's like babies on cards, which is kind of strange. So I thought they were cute, admired them, but decided to put them back for somebody else who could do something else with them. I like to make colored copies of vintage Valentines I have, and I've made resin trays out of them, and I will have some new Valentines trays this Friday at my Whatnot sale at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I sure hope you can join me. It's always fun to hang out and chat, and maybe you'll see something that you'd like to buy. I always like looking in the arts and crafts section for things to resell, as well as things that I can use myself, or maybe something that Jenny would like. And you never know what you'll find here, especially vintage sewing or needlepoint and crewel kits that are not opened. I like to buy those. That one, the subject was kind of not to my taste, and even though someone might be like, oh, I wish I had that, I tend to pick up Christmas ones and then ones that I just know, mushrooms, snails, the things from the 70s are very popular too to buy. Hope that makes sense. I kind of stumbled over that explanation. If you're a long-term subscriber of my channel, you've probably heard my explanation before on the needle kits. Then I found a whole bunch more marbles. I was really excited. And I thought, what could I do with these? And then I realized that these are more filler. And look how many there were. It was such a great deal, though. I did get out my black light to see if any of them glowed, because glowy glass is very popular now. But look at the great deal. All of that for $3. I didn't see myself using them in my resin. Look at those. So I decided not to get them. Look at this. I was walking down the aisle and this guy just popped out at me, mostly because of his colors. Look at him. This has sold already. I sold this on Whatnot. It was amazing. I really, really liked it. And when I brought it home, even Jimmy was like, that's super cool. I have this. I got this. I bought this. This is an FTD stained glass. Again, it's not real glass. It's painted glass. Heart vase, and it would be perfect for Valentine's Day. It has one tiny little scratch to it. And then I found some more glass. I think this might be probably Jeanette, maybe. I did Google Lens it, and the brand name does come up. Super pretty green color, and there are no chips or cracks on it. And then at the very top, there was this really artsy glass vase. And then I realized it had a Home Goods or a Marshalls or a TJ Maxx sticker to it. So it was very pretty, but I put it back and I decided to get the heart vase because Valentine's is coming up, and the green covered candy dish. I tend to go in the same order when I go to any Goodwill, and so we're going to be soon wrapping up our trip here. This teapot reminded me of Quimper because of the design on it. It turned out it was not. That was missing the handle, probably a bamboo handle, but you can easily buy a replacement for that. This was a giant grape pitcher. I like the handle on it. And then over here, if this is not a menorah, I forget what the other name of this is called, because I know the menorah has a certain amount of candle holders and one for lighting the candle. So I apologize if I mispronounce the name of that candle holder. I was looking at that one plate because I thought it was unusual. And then over here, we're kind of in the, I don't know, my kitchen area, I guess. That was just for sugar. Those were for your wine glasses. And then they had a whole collection of the canisters, reasonably priced, I thought. There was the brand name tucked inside there. And let's see, canisters are hard though. I think I talked about that in a couple videos ago because it takes such a huge amount of boxes, because the canisters, like you can fit like 2 canisters in a 16-12-8 box, and then the weight's really heavy. So I tend not to really pick up canisters unless they are maybe aluminum because those are super lightweight. Checking out the bags because you never know what treasures you might find in a bag. That was pretty. No, thank you. Then back to the arts and crafts area. This box, ooh, that box is fantastic. Those neon colors with the green background. But inside there was not one card that looked like the cover of the box. I thought that cover was super cool. And that's going to wrap up our trip here to Goodwill. Here's a look at the cart while we make our way up to the checkout. And coming up next is everything that I picked up on this trip to Goodwill. This little bear sold on Whatnot recently, as well as the dog, but everything else will either be listed on eBay or sold on a Whatnot sale. Look at those colors. Fantastic. So vintage. So cool. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure if you enjoyed this video that you subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is click on the subscribe button, and the bell notification will let you know when I drop a new video. I hope you're having a great day. Take care, and I'll see ya.